as a mistrial has been declared by a judge in the case challenging an individual state senator who's looking at corruption charges. You've got another court finding that the Highland Park shooter is going to get life in prison. Just a couple of court headlines for you here this morning. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join us each and every weekday morning. So a federal judge has declared a mistrial in the case against Illinois State Senator Emil Jones III in his corruption trial. Jurors, they failed to reach a verdict on all three counts against the Chicago Democrat. Interesting about Jones, he's the son of the former Senate President, Emil Jones. And he's still a senator, obviously, the third, and he ran unopposed, even though he was facing criminal charges of corruption. So the U.S. District Court judge, after a jury went back to deliberate, Thursday, they had some questions come back from the jury, but prosecutors and the defense and the court apparently looking at a mistrial now. So we'll see what happens there. Governor JB Pritsker was asked about ethics reforms earlier this week at a stop in Jacksonville, and he said that he's been very vocal about pushing for ethics reforms. Here's the governor in Jacksonville.
Happy to do it right here. I have for quite a long time pushed for ethics reforms. Some of it, as you know, takes a few years to get done. We've gotten a lot done. I continue to advocate. Sometimes the legislature doesn't move as fast as I'd like them to.
So he kind of puts it on the legislature to act faster on ethics reforms. And he also said that, and this is something we hear a lot, there's already laws in place that are holding people accountable. Like, for instance, Emil Jones III getting charged with corruption for questionable dealings with red light camera companies, right? So will we see more red light camera regulations when it comes to political contributions and such? I don't know. Not yet to May 31st deadline for them to pass measures, so we'll see. But you've got, even the Mike Madigan case. After he served in the legislature for 50 years, served as Speaker of the House for from 1983 till, except for 2 years, until 2021. So longest serving state house speaker. He was found guilty on several charges. But this Emil Jones case is interesting because, well, the jury apparently was deadlocked on some of the counts when it comes to what prosecutors presented. They alleged that Jones lied to federal investigators along with other charges of corruption. So what happens next with the ethics reforms? We'll be watching that closely. Something else out of the courts yesterday. Robert Crimo III, who was charged in the fatal shooting of 7 people, wounding dozens for the Independence Day holiday up in Highland Park in 2022. Well, he's been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, he changed his plea right before they were going to trial. Apparently, there was some police interrogation video where he admitted it, but later pleaded not guilty. And then when that evidence was going to be included in the trial, he flipped his not guilty plea to guilty. So he's going to be serving life in prison. Now, in 2023 of January, you had the Illinois General Assembly pass the ban on semi-automatic firearms, similar to what Crimo used in that attack. And that was the Highland Park incident was used as an impetus to push that in January 2023. That law is still being challenged in federal court. We'll see where that goes. Obviously, you've got some movement in the appeals court, the latest in that consolidated case out of the Southern District with the gun ban. You've got the state having to respond to the Southern District judge saying the law is unconstitutional. And that's coming up May 7th. We should get that filing from the state. And then the cases of those challenging the law, they've got until June 6th to reply to the state. So we'll be watching those carefully. But there's still concern of how to keep certain places safe, and particularly like what some would consider soft targets. If you go to thecentersquare.com, you'll be able to see this story where legislation would mandate public schools be equipped with silent alarms so that police can respond faster. You have several individuals here, State Representative Will Davis talking, but also Janet Yang Rohr at a news conference earlier this week, and they talked about the importance of keeping kids safe in schools with ensuring law enforcement get there in a timely fashion.
Alyssa's law, introduced by my colleagues and I, is a necessary life-saving measure. It ensures that schools have mobile panic alert systems, allowing staff to instantly notify law enforcement when every second counts. The reality of the day for parents is that even as we send our children to school every single day, there are moments when we have to confront the reality and think the unthinkable, asking ourselves if, and hoping that that our children will come home from school safe.
We're talking about today does cost money, but at the end of the day, I think all of us as parents are all about student safety and the fact that we should be doing everything possible to make sure that our children are safe.
So that measure is advancing, or at least they're promoting it. We'll see if that goes in. But just a couple of headlines and some of the things around the headlines for you this morning on a Friday with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning for the live show where you can join the live chat. Pretty active bunch in there each and every weekday morning. But don't forget, get the podcast where you get podcasts and sign up for the newsletter at thecentersquare.com.